Hello and welcome to another in the For Life's Sake series. I'm Suzanne Jacobs, and as always, it is my pleasure to share with you powerful tools and techniques drawn from decades of research and experience to help you live life on purpose. Are you working remotely? Maybe some of the time or part of the time? Maybe this is a result of the pandemic, or perhaps this is how you worked before. Working remotely brings a myriad of advantages if we work wisely. It can support us to manage and integrate all our priorities, which of course includes work. It can take us out of the burden of the commute and allow us to do more with the precious gift of time. But it can also have a downside if we're not careful. We know that working remotely at home for many of us more often leads to more hours being done and blurred boundaries, a feeling of no stopping, of no gaps in our day to transition between work and home. In fact, in lockdown, the average day increased by almost 2.5 hours. So we need to be wise about how we use our time, place, and space, and I include our headspace in that. So let me share with you 3 research-based tips, each simple, but equally not necessarily so simple to implement, as they often need a shift in habits and a discipline to embed. Number 1 is time. Routine. Routine is so important. Small routines create certainty, predictability, which conserves energy and increases psychological safety. A routine is not about creating an unbreakable, rigid framework, but a structure that allows us to recharge, reset, reduce the thinking time needed, and to establish boundaries. Routine uses less cognitive energy because it is what we know, so there's no real thinking required. And we can then use that energy to tackle the things in our work. It also provides comfort, which supports our well-being. A simple coffee, perhaps at a familiar time, is enough to help us reset, recharge, and refuel. Routine can also help us establish transition gaps between elements in our lives, such as between work, family, leisure, perhaps closing the screen down, signing off to your team, or simply shutting the door to the workspace can signal to the brain to switch so that we can then be fully focused on, say, our family or exercise. Ensuring that we are fully present in each important part of our life is crucial to our well-being. Psychologists call this boundary activities, placing a mental space between realms. Now, place. Where are you able to create a workplace? I appreciate that a designated study is not something open to everyone, but a place to focus that your brain associates with work reinforces the divide between home and work and creates the boundary for where and when work happens. And space, particularly our head space, because our heads are another matter. We all worry. Worry is the brain's problem-solving mechanism, but it can get stuck if we can't see a way out. And worry can be amplified when we work away from others, simply because we don't have access to all the social cues, such as body language and tone of voice, that we have when we are together. And if left unchecked, it can affect our performance and possibly lead us to catastrophizing as our brains try to work out if there's a potential issue. So focus on what you know, the facts, check back in for understanding, and focus on what is in your influence, not what you can't control. We have our time, our place, and our space as tools we can use. We just need to make sure we each use each of them well. Till next time.